Hello, my name is Ken Shorley. I am here with another frame drum rhythm to share with you. I've come out on location. Behind me is the beautiful Bay of Fundy, which is very close to my home in Nova Scotia, Canada. And the reason that I brought you out here is because the rhythm I've created is inspired by the tides. For those of you who know about before I moved to Nova Scotia, I didn't realize how intense the tides were. It's sort of hard to tell now. It's almost high tide, but this tidal cycle is on a 13-hour, or actually 6.5 hours. So from high tide to low tide, it's 6.5 hours. And it goes way, way out. It's not just a little bit of a change. It is a huge change in this part of the world. So this rhythm is in 6.5 beats, which means 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6.5. So you could think of it as 5 full beats plus a grouping of 3 half beats, like a 3/8 measure. So 5/4 plus 3/8. I just think of it as 6.5. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6.5. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6.5. So, little tidal rhythm for you. I have a basic version of this and 2 variations, which I will go through. The basic version sounds like this. It starts with a dum, then you roll to a tek on the second beat. 1, 2, and ka. 1, 2 and 3 and dum pa dum rek dum pa. That's the first 3 beats. 1, 2, 3. Beat 4 and 5 are the same as beat 1 and 2. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5 and. This is the part that has the half beat in it. Dum dum pa, or 6.5, and then it starts right over again. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6.5. Dum rek dum pa dum rek dum pa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. Okay, these 2 variations get more and more technical, and they are totally optional. You can, while you're learning this rhythm, just keep the basic pattern going. You don't have to do these variations right away. If you want a little more challenge, then check this out. 1, 2, 3, and. Okay. So what I did on the second beat, I made it a triplet. Triplet. So it starts still with a dum. 1, 2, and 3, and. And the and, rather than just being a pa, combines a snap and a pa at the same time. So 1, 2, and 3, and. Triplet on the second beat, and then this snap pa combination. Boom, snap. Okay. 1, 2, and 3, and. Like in the basic rhythm, beat 4 and 5 are the same as beat 1 and 2. Okay? So 1, 2, 5, and now the 6.5, I'm doing a little cross rhythm. So I'm still doing doom and the snap pa combination, but it's 1, 2, and 3, 6.5, 6.5. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. So it comes in on the half of a half beat, if you like that. Okay, 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. Now, it is possible, because the tide moves so quickly here, from the beginning of me recording this to the end of me recording this, you may actually see the tide receding. I got here just at high tide, and it's starting to go out, and it is that fast, it's that visible, because it has a long way to go in 6.5 hours, from highest to lowest. Okay, let's do the basic pattern a couple times, and then try that variation. So How do you count in a 6.5 beat rhythm? I actually have friends who are in a percussion group, and they count everything in 4. They play music in lots of different meters, but just to avoid confusion, they always go 1, 2, 3, 4, and they start, rather than going 4, 5, 6.5. So if you're trying to time a group of people starting at the same time, that's one concept. Just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're in. Okay, even if you're playing in 6.5. Let's do 4 times on the basic, and then 4 times on the variation. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6.5. One more. Variation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. One more of those. Okay, let's try the second variation. This one has got all sorts of fancy split hand stuff. This is the most advanced of these. And again, this is optional. You don't have to feel like you're not getting the rhythm if this variation isn't available to you today. Just learn the basic, have fun with it. When you're ready, when it feels right, when your hands are ready, move on to the variations. This one has a double roll, starting with your dominant hand and going up to your top hand. Doom and doom, roll, roll. Double roll. One of these, one of those. So without the rolls, it's just doom, tekka, tekka. So the second beat is filled. Tekka, tekka. Doom, tekka, tekka. With the rolls, doom, tekka, tekka. One and tekka. Okay. If you want to do a single roll, doom, tekka, tekka. That's fine. If you want extra spicy, double roll. Okay, so beat 3, doom, starts the same. The second half is this kitataka. I went through a whole bunch of kitatakas on some video, which I'll post up there. This is a particular variation on a kitataka. It has a snap on the top, and then you do 3-1-3. This comes from South Indian drumming, this type of split hand. Okay, so the third beat is doom, and then a fast kitataka. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3 and. Conveniently, beats 4 and 5 are the same as beat 1 and 2, as in the basic pattern, as in the first variation. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, a little bit slower. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. 1 and 2. Okay. Now the 6.5 is similar to this, but rather than just doing this, we do a takatari kitataka, which I learned from mridangam, which is a South Indian drum, and I translate it like this: snap 3-1, and then dampen stroke. I use the middle finger, so it sort of matches this stroke on my dominant hand. There's 8 pulses. Takatari kitataka. Snap 3-1, pa 3-1, pa 3. So let's call this a pa, even though it's not a pa, but it's a dampened stroke up here, so we'll call that pa. And 3-1. 3 with these fingers, 1, although I'm using the thumb also, I still call that 1. Okay? Snap 3-1, pa 3-1, pa 3. Snap 3-1, pa 3-1, pa 3. Now this is a much faster pattern, and it cadences with a doom, which takes us back to the first beat. Takatari kitataka doom, takatari kitataka doom. This particular sequence, the takatari kitataka, is going to take a bit more practice. You can always slow this video down. Okay, you can change the tempo of the YouTube video. I'll play it now a few times. And if you need to slow it down, slow it down. The reason I'm I'm not playing it more slowly is that it has a totally different, it doesn't feel at all like the same flow. Even at that speed, it's not the same. I mean, it's necessary to slow it down intellectually and then physically so that your hands and your brain can remember it. But once you get it at the correct speed, it has a certain flow. The 6.5 is dum taka taka taka. 6.5. Okay, so that takes up the remaining 3 little pulses, or 1.5 beats. Okay. 6.5. 6.5. 6.5. All right, let's do the whole thing. Ready? Let's go basic into the first variation, then into the second. Let's say we'll do 2 times on each. Okay? Basic twice, first variation twice, second variation twice. Ready? Yeah. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this on-location frame drum video. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do. If you want to support the channel, you can do that too. I will put a link in the description. Any donation, small or extremely large, will help me keep going and providing great content for this channel. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos about rhythm, drumming, and percussion.